Hey friends! Alright, so day 2 of this week, we're going to talk about a poem I bet you guys have actually written before. I know I used to do this poem with my second graders, so I'm guessing you've seen this one quite a bit. It's called Haiku. Do you guys remember learning about that before? If you do, remind me, do you remember what country it's from? Japan, that's right. So haiku is usually inspired by nature. So I'm going to strongly suggest that you pick something from nature to write your haiku poem about. You're going to see that I've attached a worksheet again. Again, you can just look at it on the computer. You don't need to print it out. You can if you want, but you don't need to. This one's going to have a little bit of a reading with it. So I want you to read that. I do want you to read that. You're going to answer some questions. Again, you can use a lined piece of paper, write down your answers, and then when you're done, when you have read it and you've given your answers, then you can scroll to the very bottom and you'll see that the answers are there, so you can check your own work, okay? I want you to try doing it by yourself first, please. Don't scroll down, don't cheat. Test yourself. Make sure your brain's not turning mushy, okay? Test yourself, read it, then do the questions. Then you can check your work, okay? So you'll learn a little bit about the history of haiku, and then we're gonna write our own haiku poem today. So the big thing with haiku is knowing syllables, all right? We've practiced this before. I bet most of you remember. So syllables are the sounds we're hearing. So like when we sound out a word, usually we, without even thinking about it, we break it into syllables. We break it into the sounds that we hear. So let's practice a little bit, just get our brain going. How many syllables do you hear in the word rainforest? Go ahead, break it down. Rain, for, est. 3 syllables, okay? Let's see, how about hippo? Break it down. Hippo. How many sounds do you hear? Hippo, 2. Table. Table. Grill. Grill. Okay, so you guys are practicing those syllables. It's going to be really important for you to know your syllables, to test the words that you use today, to know how many syllables, because that's what haiku is all about. We have to have a certain amount of syllables in each line. So let's talk about that. All right, so in my poem, I've got my haiku right here. The first line, and everyone's first line, has to have 5 syllables. Second line has to have 7 syllables, and your last line has to have 5 syllables again. Okay, so you're only going to write 3 lines. The first line, 5 syllables. The second line, 7 syllables. And the last line, 5 syllables. Okay, when you're coming up with your lines, make sure you're testing the syllables as you go. You might have to make a lot of changes. I had to make changes to mine too, okay? So let's go ahead, let's take a look at mine. My boys are naughty. My little Chihuahua boys, yeah, they're naughty dogs. All right, and that's my nature. I thought, okay, my nature today is going to be my dogs. All right, second line. They are not nice to their sis. Again, I'm going to measure it. I'm going to check and make sure. They are not nice to their sis. Okay? 7 syllables, so it's good. Do you think maybe I tried sister the first time and found out that that was too many syllables? So make sure you're double checking and then try to fix it. If you can't get something to work, try different words. All right, and my last line, but they are still loved. But they are still loved. 5 syllables again. So with that one, remember, I tried saying they are still loved, realized I didn't have enough. So that's when I put in that extra word. Okay, so you're going to have to make some changes as you go. It might not be exactly what you want to say, but you want to make sure you're following those rules. All right, that's it for today. Quick haiku. You can put it on Flipgrid to show it to me. You can send it through an email. I love to see them. You can perform it for me. All right, that's it. Bye, guys. Happy writing.